Hello and welcome to Fat Frog Yoga's Yoga Advent Calendar Day 2. You've got this. Well done for turning up for Day 2. Today we're going to do a little bit more of general mobilisation. That's a tongue twister. So we're going to be concentrating on the lower half of the body. We're going to open hips, we're going to do some leg stretches and just generally feel great. Just a little note, the Day 1 and the Day 2 can always be done together, and they can always be done if you want a longer yoga practice throughout the rest of the yoga advent. You can always do them before or after one of the following days. So without further ado, grab your mat, grab your chair, wear some comfortable clothing, and I'll see you in a minute. Once we're seated, bring your hands to prayer position at heart center. Take a gaze forward to a point on the floor in front of you, so a soft gaze. And we'll do 3 breaths in and out. 2. And number 3. From here, let's do a stretch overhead. So sweep the arms overhead, do a nice big stretch up. Oh yeah, that feels good. And then we're gonna fold forward and we're gonna bring our hands around our right shin. On your next inhale, bring the foot up. So just gently ease the foot up with your 2 hands, and my chair is creaking, apologies. So keeping the hands there, or if you want to bring the hands underneath the thigh, we're just going to start to gently move the leg from side to side. So we're moving from the hip. We're trying to open this hip up. Start to make that a little bit wider. I'm just going to move up on my chair a little bit. Really creaky chair. And then let's take that in some circles. So we're going to take the whole leg in some circles, really moving from the hip. And as you can see, I've got my foot flexed. It doesn't really matter either way, but it's quite nice to have it flexed, which means then we're not going to kind of start moving into the knee. And we've got to take those circles the other way, because yoga is all about doing one thing one way and then the same thing the other way. Lovely stuff. And then hug that knee in towards the chest. And you'll see later on that this is also part of the sun salutation, seated. And let's just open the chest up. Inhale, open the chest up. And exhale, round through the back. Just draw the head towards the knee. And then inhale, come back to neutral spine, keeping the knee where it is. Now we really want to flex the foot, and we want to take that foot over the thigh. So the toes are pointing back towards the knee, and we're just allowing gravity to work on the knee here. We're not trying to push the leg down, just allowing gravity to bring the knee down to open the hip up. So place the hands wherever's comfortable on the leg. And we're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, just fold slightly forward, and you'll really start to feel it in the hip. Just explore how that feels in the hip. If it's too much, lift up a little bit. Obviously, if the knee's really up high and if you're really struggling to keep the foot here, just bring the foot down onto the calf or even down onto the ankle. That's the ankle. If we're playing with the ankle, it might help to just kind of come onto the corner of the seat, just to allow the knee even further kind of movement with gravity. It allows that hip to open a little bit more. If we're here, let's bring ourselves back up to seated. We're going to hug that knee into the chest one more. And then take the hands around the thigh and straighten that leg out. Toes pointing up towards the ceiling, leg as straight as you can get it. And just explore where you're feeling that stretch. And enjoy the stretch. That's probably one of the most things that I can give to you, is just to enjoy that stretch. If it's a stretch that you're not enjoying, it's not quite right. And ease out. And then we're going to keep the leg straight, and we're going to lower it down onto the floor. Heel comes to the floor, toes are still pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine. And we're going to fold over that right leg. And it's going to become an even more intense stretch. So really play with where you're feeling it and play with kind of where you are folding. Lovely. And then let's come back up seated. Lift that knee up a little bit. And let's just ankle roll one way and then the other way. Excellent stuff. And then place that foot on the floor. Bring the hands to prayer position. On an inhale, sweep the arms overhead. As we exhale, we fold over the left leg now, taking the hands around that thigh. Shin, that's a shin. On your next inhale, bring that knee up to the chest. And just settle in here a little bit. And taking the hands underneath the thigh, if you wish to. Let's start by opening that hip up either side. I'm going to have to find a different chair because this is creaking somewhat crazy. And then let's take that whole leg in some circles, moving from the hip. Really trying to get into the hip, open that hip up. And then take those circles the other way. Just explore with how big or how small those circles are as well. Your hip might not want to open that wide. So just explore kind of your edge, how far you want to take those circles. And then we're going to hug that knee back in for a little bit of stillness. On an inhale, let's open up through the chest. And exhale, fold over. Just allow the head to come towards the knee. And then inhale, come back up to center. From here, we're going to flex that foot and we're going to bring the ankle over the thigh. So the toes are pointing nice and strongly back towards the knee, so we're not twisting into the knee. If you start to point the foot, I can feel my knee starting to twist there. So we might want to kind of explore with pointing the foot and just seeing if you can feel that in the knee. We want the toes pointed back towards the knee. And again, we take the options of the foot on the calf or over the ankle, depending on how much our hip wants to open here. On our next inhale, we inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, just fold forward gently to where it's comfortable, keeping the chest open so we're not rounding through the back. Lovely stuff. And on an inhale, we'll come back up seated. Hug that knee in another time. Take the hands underneath the thigh. Straighten that leg out so the foot is in the air, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. I'm getting a stretch down the back of the leg. Just take a second to enjoy that. And we can also do this stretch with a strap. So if you have a strap and you want to take the strap around the toe wall joints, do so. We'll be doing it in another day. We'll be doing it on another day in the future. And we're going to take that foot down in a straight line. So the heel comes to the floor, toes are pointing back up towards the ceiling. Right knee is still bent. We're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, fold over that left leg, along with a creaky chair. Taking the hands to the shins, if you can reach toes, reach toes. Doesn't matter, we just want to kind of explore that stretch. Just feel the stretch all the way down the back of the leg and just see what feels good for us. Excellent stuff. We're going to lift back up on an inhale, bending that left knee, bring it up slightly from the floor still. Just going to do a quick ankle roll one way and then the other way. Perfect. Both feet come down to the floor. I'm coming onto the very edge of my seat because it is that exciting. From here, we're going to lift up onto the toes. So lift the heels up from the floor, and then we're going to take the heels down back to the floor. So we're kind of rolling through the foot now. Let's bring some breath into that as well. So we're going to inhale, lift the heel up, coming up onto the toes, and as we exhale, we're going to push those heels down. We take the full length of the inhale to bring those toes up, or bring the heel up, sorry. We come up onto the toes, and exhale all the way down. One more time, inhaling, coming up onto the toes, and exhale, bring those heels down. This is something that you can do anytime. If you're sat on the sofa watching something that's really quite boring, just start to roll through the heels if you want. So we're going to bring the toes, well the feet, ever so slightly behind the knees. So my knees are probably tracking just exactly over the toes, which is probably a little bit too far. We don't want the knees too far over those toes. Bring the hands either side of the chair. So we're kind of either side of the chair at the front of the chair. And from here, we're going to push through the arms. We're going to lengthen up. We're also going to start to take our weight over the feet. So you can start to feel the feet engage and start to feel the knees and the thighs engage. And then we're going to bring it back down onto the chair. We're going to do that a couple more times. Bring the weight forward so your torso's over the ankles and you start to push through the heels. And I'm starting to lift up off my chair. We're going to come back down. We're going to do that one more time. We're going to bring our torso forward. We're going to bring our weight forward and start to push through the heels. And we're going to lift ourselves up off the chair by about an inch. And then push through the heels. Release the hands if you can, if you want to, and then push up to come up to standing. And my thighs are really engaged. We're really engaged as we're doing that. So just explore kind of what feels good. And then on an exhale, let's bring ourselves to sit down. Taking the hands to the chair first if you wish to, or if you want the challenge to come down without using the hands. We're now going to take the hands behind us on the chair, so either side of the chair, and we're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine. So chest is opening, bringing the feet ever so slightly a little bit further out, so the heels, the ankles are underneath the knees now. Push through those hands, and if you're feeling like you want to, just start to bring the hips up off the chair, coming up into a reverse tabletop position. And it's really strong in the arms, so just explore what feels good. And then on an exhale, we come back down. I'm going to do that one more time. On an inhale, we're going to push through the hands. We're also going to push through the heels of the feet as well. We're going to push through the feet, using our leg strength to bring our pelvis up, as well as our arm strength, into our reverse tabletop. Take 3 breaths. Go on, you can do this. You've got this. Inhaling. 2 more. 1 more. Full breath. And then release that. Good stuff. Well done. From here, let's just take a little twist. So take the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine. And exhale, take the twist. Inhale, come back through. And we'll take it the other side. On an exhale, right hand to left knee, left hand behind. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine. And exhale, take the twist round. Inhale, we come back up. Lovely stuff. On an inhale, we lengthen it up through the spine. And exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. And just allow the hands to relax down, allow the head to relax. Let's just realign and just bring our body back into the room. We push through the feet, come back up to seated, and bring the hands to prayer position at heart center. Taking a soft gaze to a point in front of us. We take 3 full deep breaths. And just take a moment to just notice what we've done, what we've achieved. And to just send some feelings of gratitude through the body for keeping us stable and upright. Bow the head ever so slightly forward. Namaste. Thank you very much, and join me again tomorrow for day 3.